Right guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today you join me as I go to pick up a Seat Leon that I've just bought for £1,000. On the face of it, this seems like quite a good deal. I don't know much about it, but one thing I do know is that it's done quite a lot of miles. In fact, 135,000 of them. Which means it'll need a bit more preparation than most. I guarantee it won't have had its cam belt done. It's probably got a rattling flywheel. It probably needs a couple of tyres, and I bet it hasn't been serviced for about 25,000 miles. That's usually the case. I've been here many times before. I'm not naturally pessimistic, I'm just realistic, I suppose. I just know in my heart of hearts that £1,000 Seat Leon will have been neglected. It can't not have been. I guarantee when I open its borrower's size service book, it'll be distinctly lacking stamps. You know, like a post office in December. It's a 2010 model, which I think means it's a Mark II Leon. I always quite liked that generation. When I lived in Spain, they were very popular. Of course, underneath it's just a VW Golf, but the Spanish Leon just has a bit more flair. It's certainly better looking. Overall, they're just more interesting than the boring humdrum Golf. Of course, that's just my opinion. Feel free to disagree. Right, let's go and have a look then, shall we? Vamos a verlo. Espero que está bien. Joder. Well, we're here. That looks alright to me. See what I mean about them being a good looking car? I think even though it's a 2010, it's 12 years old, still a stylish looking design, that. The bodywork's not perfect, there are a few little dents here or there. The front bumper needs some careful touch-ins. Not too bad though, that. Wants a good clean and buff. There's a small dent on the front wheel arch, driver's side, and on the front door. Right, let me do a quick vehicle history check. As always, I'm going to go to carvertical.com. It's really easy to use. All you need to do is type in the vehicle reg. So it is Golf Foxtrot 10 Lima Foxtrot Juliet. There we go. It's really important that you do one of these checks before you buy a car so you don't end up buying a complete lemon. I've done a deal with Car Vertical, so if you click the link below and use the promo code HYPE, you'll get 10% off each and every vehicle check that you do. If this car's got good service history and it drives okay with no warning lights on, then that looks like a £2,500 car to me. I don't want to get carried away though. Best not to count your chickens before they've hatched. Right, it's ready. So, view report. No mileage fraud was disclosed. It's never been stolen. Never been involved in any accidents. And there's no outstanding finance. So we're clear on all four fronts there. It was registered in June 2010. It passed its first MOT. Fine. Okay. Shows you all the maintenance it's had as well, this. That's quite good. So, the most recent MOT then. Has it got one? Has it got one? Ah, good news. So it does have an MOT, although it runs out next week, which means we can take it on a road test today because it's still road legal, although I need to get that done next week. But there were two advisory items. Near side rear shock absorber has light misting of oil, and near side front valve stem slightly damaged. That is the valve stem on the front tyre then. So near side front slightly damaged. Well, that's not a big job. We can soon change that. The mileage, so the last MOT had done 130. I think it's done 135, I'm pretty sure. That's what I was told. Let's see if it provides a valuation. Sometimes it does. Oh, here we go. The approximate market value of this car is £2,000, or when the seller's a company, £3,129. I thought so. Looks like a £3,000 car, that, doesn't it? Certainly 2.5. Price after negotiations, £1,900. Well, I'm on to a winner then, aren't I? So it is a Seat Leon hatchback, 2010, 1.6. I'd rather it was the 2 litre, to be honest. The 2 litre is a bit stronger. Engine power is 77 kilowatts, diesel, automatic. Normally I'd be quite happy to discover that a car that I bought is an automatic, not a manual, but not one from the VW group with 135,000 miles on it. If that hasn't been serviced, that is going to be a jerky mess. Let's go and have a look then, shall we? Okay then, what have we got here? Well, on the bright side, we've got both sets of keys, which is always a good start. The remote one and the master key. So starting off here, we've got some signs of polish there. Someone's looked after it. We've got a little dent at the top of the driver's door. The wheel needs a good clean. And we've got a Sailwind, right, with about 4mm of tread. Not too bad then. It's quite a good colour grey, isn't it? I like that, like a nano grey, or nardo grey. We've got a, what brand is that? A Knight? Never heard of it. Never heard of it. So cheap tyres straight away, which means it's been run on a shoestring. That's that dent I was talking about. that might pop out, you know, as might that. But it's on about 4 mil of tread, that tyre, so not too bad. It's got its original Seat number plate. G, so Garden of England, so Kent Way. Been parked under a tree by the looks of it, lots of leaf marks. Always liked how the wipers on this model were hidden in the front pillars there, the A-pillars. So that's starting to peel there, but on a car of this age and mileage, I think that could just be carefully touched in. Down this side we've got a dent here. That will buff out, but that won't. And this tyre is a Grip 500. So we've got cheap Chinese tyres all around. Those brake discs look terrible, don't they? Seen those? Like they've been underwater. The fourth tyre is a Super Eco from Trezano. Right, so we've got 4 odd cheap tyres. Not off to a flying start, are we? Around the back it looks okay. It's got its matching rear plate, rear privacy glass. I always quite like the how the rear handles were hidden on these. Good looking car, that, I think. So based on the tyres, I think this has been neglected, but maybe not. Inside it's quite grubby. Smells a bit. Just smells a bit dirty, really. Oh, it's quite a good spec though. Look at this, right, we've got heated seats, sat-nav, auxiliary USB points, automatic, powerful mirrors. Tell you what, this was some car in its day. We've got a new car scent here, Yankee Candle, very good. Auto dimming rear mirror, auto lights, multifunction steering wheel. Right, it's done 136,000 miles. Let's see if there are any warning lights. Service due in 11 days, okay, fine. Please check tyres. Yes, I've checked, they're all there, and they're Chinese. Let's have a look under the bonnet, shall we? On this occasion, I'm quite disappointed to find out that it's auto, because they're complicated and expensive. And it's the 1.6, not the 2 litre. Right. Coolant looks okay. Check the old oil. Okay. It's got some, there we go. Passed that test. No brand battery there, never heard of that. Right, okay then. Nothing too horrendous there, is there? What have we got in the back? Quite a lot of leg room and Isofix points. The rear seats look okay. Don't look. It's quite a clean car, this actually. Quite headlining's coming away there. That's not good. Might be able to tuck that back in actually. I'll have a play with that when I'm not holding a camera. Ah, Bosch wiper blades and a boot liner. Somebody's kind of tried to look after this then, haven't they? Have we got a spare under here? Space saver have we got or not? Let's have a look. Yep, space saver. No water in the boot, that's good. Toolkit. Very good. Muy bien. Let's fire this thing up then. Where's my little glow plug light? There we go. Took a little bit longer to crank than I would have hoped. Ah, we've got 3/4 tank of fuel. Right, that's unusual. You know, I've been doing this job so long now that I'm always skeptical about that. I'm disappointed when somebody trades something with no fuel in it whatsoever, because I think that's just a sign of a cheapskate. But equally, when I get a car like this that's been traded in with almost a full tank of fuel, I think That means they've got rid of this quickly. They're not bothered about the fuel, they just want it off the driveway. So, like I say, you can't really win. Oh dear, right. This has been done. Someone's been doing a little bit of DIY here, haven't they? Some Araldite there, which looks like snot, and a door hinge on the broken. Right. Yeah, this isn't really a retailable car, is it, this? Try the old air conditioning. It is a good spec though. Very good. Very good. Let's see what they were listening to then. Capital FM. Oh, tune. The Taylor Swift there. Right. Do my mirrors fold in? Yeah, they do. And my air conditioning works. Right, let's not be too hasty then. Turn that down so you can hear what's going on. The only thing that I'm worried about here is this gearbox. They're not reliable at the best of times. Okay, this is the tiny service book I was talking about. For some reason, SEAT decided to give people this tiny little book pack. This is a 1.6 with VWs and, you know, Audis and SEATs as well. This, or these codes here, refer to its spec. So, for example, I don't know off the top of my head because I'm not that much of a sado, but D38 might be sat-nav, G1C might be heated seats. You with me so far, aren't you? Can't show you that because it's got somebody's address on it. Okay, so Canterbury. Told you it was a Kent car. Come on, service history. Done this down. Right. It was serviced at 9,000 miles in 2011. 18,000 miles, 2011, they had a busy year. 28,000 miles, 2012. 38,000 miles, 48,000 miles, all at SEAT. 48, more SEAT, 57, 76, 87, and then a handwritten squiggle here with no stamp. Okay, that doesn't look legit, does it, that? But they said they've done the timing belt. Do we believe them or not? They haven't got a stamp. Right, well that was its last service at 135, so there's quite a gap there, isn't there, between 135 and 87. They say they've done the belt, but I'm not so sure. They've also said they've done one there, at JA Plant and Commercial. I'm not so sure. Is there any mention here of a gearbox service? Any mention? No. Okay, so some history. Started out good, didn't it? Full SEAT, and then somebody lost interest over the years. Sometimes with VWs, they're at the back, aren't they? Additional observations? Nope. Okay. Right, well I think if this goes anywhere near my forecourt, I'm going to take it to my gearbox specialist and get them to do a gearbox service. Ah, right. So the last owner bought this at auction in 2017 for £3,500 plus fees. So £3,800 they paid for this. That's before the world went mad though, wasn't it? Oh, this is interesting to see. Right, this is the sticker then, the window sticker from when the person bought it at 86,000 miles. So no major faults, warranted as per auction conditions, and it is an SE CR TDI semi-automatic. Aircon, sat-nav, spare key, one local owner from new, 7 SEAT service stamps, last done at 76. So it was all good at that point, wasn't it? And they've let it fall. Well, this is a receipt then for a timing belt and water pump at 135,000 miles to a Peter. I think I can show you that. Nothing there specific, is there? Okay, right. There I was doubting these lack of stamp, and we've got a receipt to back it up. We've got one warning light on there for low tyre pressures. That one goes off when you press the brake, and that one goes off when you release the handbrake. Well, we're getting somewhere here, aren't we, with this? I think if this drives okay, and I could get a gearbox service done, there might be a little bit of profit in this. Let's take it for a drive. I think the proof will be in the pudding, won't it? Rightio, then let's see how bad this gearbox is. I've got no faith in this at all. I've had many bad gearbox from VW before. That's annoying me, so that can go. Don't even know my own strength, do I sometimes? Well, so far, I don't want to jinx it because we're only in third, I think, but it's quite smooth. I was expecting to get whiplash from this box. Go on then. Nice 3D reg there, very classy. Moment of truth time. First, second, third, fourth. We've got no paddles, but it does change okay, this. Air conditioning is nice and cool. This is one of those cars that if I could get through an MOT and give it a service, and give the gearbox a service, this would do somebody for another couple of years, I'm sure. Especially with its new timing belt at 135,000 miles, only 1,000 miles ago. I can't believe this is the original box. It might be a reconditioned unit, mightn't it? I've just had these fail me before now at 60,000 miles, so it can't have done 136 with no service. Perhaps Seat gave it a gearbox service when they did a service one year. Can't even hear the flywheel rattling, can you? There was a little bit of a belt noise then, or a pulley noise. Why did they overcomplicate the automatic gearbox with this DSG thing? Just pointless. Unnecessarily complicated. For a 136,000 mile car, it actually feels quite tight. Doesn't feel all loose and sloppy. Well, I'm mildly impressed. It's a lot of car for £1,000, isn't it, this? Got a rattle here coming from their DIY do-it-yourself armrest. That wasn't the best repair in the world, was it? What I'm going to do then is take this down to my mechanics, get them to do a pre-MOT on it to see if it'll pass, or if it won't, how much work it needs. If it's good news, then I'll get them to give it a service. Then I'll book it in with my auto gearbox specialist and get him to service the box. And it just wants a good clean, doesn't it, really? Perhaps speak to the dent lads and see if they can pop out those little dents. And there's a £3,000 car here. If I could keep my spend to around £500, then there should be £1,500 profit. Which in these uncertain times isn't to be sniffed at, is it? I really thought by now that this would be a complete jerk fest, so much so that I need a neck brace. It's actually surprisingly smooth. Very surprisingly smooth, actually. Well, this is all good news, isn't it? And I suppose the fact that this is only the 1.6 will make it cheaper to tax, cheaper to run, cheaper to insure. Think of all those selling points. This car will sell itself, won't it? Right, I shall catch up with you in a day or two. Right, and we're back. Once again, a little bit of time and quite a lot of money on this occasion, and another car's been saved. I mean, it wasn't particularly bad before, but it was right at that stage where, had I not intervened, it would have just gone downhill and got worse and worse. It was just looking a bit sorry for itself. The bodywork was peppered in tiny dents, the interior was dirty, and at the last MOT it had quite a few advisory items. I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. It's a good looking car, this generation Leon. It's 12 years old now, nearly 13 years old in fact, and it still looks stylish. And it still drives really well 136,000 miles later. I've also had a service done as well. Now, according to the service history, it was last done 1,000 miles ago, but you can't really trust that, can you? So I've had it done, just for my own peace of mind really. The problem is now, I'm not sure what to do with it. I think this could be worth as much as £3,000 to £4,000 on the forecourt. It's quite a nice spec, it's in decent condition, it's had its cam belt done, it's got quite a bit going for it. It's got sat-nav, heated seats, both sets of keys. So, I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing to have ever graced my forecourt, but am I asking for trouble? Retailing a car of this age and mileage, I just think it'll end in tears. I've been here too many times before. I just know what's going to happen. You might think I'm a complete snob now, but I speak from experience. What will happen is I'll sell this to somebody with no money at all, then it'll break because it's a used car on 136,000 miles, and then everybody will point the finger at me, like I'm a criminal. Right, let me pull over somewhere scenic and I will talk you through my costs. Okay, here's as good a place as any. So I paid £1,000 for the car. So I ran it through a fresh MOT and asked for no advisory items, which it's now got. But that's my bill. So I had a service done. They've repaired the loose near side mirror. It's had a near side front tyre, that was £45. The MOT test fee was £40. It needed rear brake discs and pads, because they would have been advised. They were £48 for the discs and £24 for the pads. It also needed front discs and pads. They were £59 for the discs and £28 for the pads. It needed a new set of reg plates. They were £12. It's had oil and an oil filter. It needed a near side front drop link. And it's also had a new rear wiper arm. The old one wasn't working. That was £36. So we've got the labour there of £160, which takes my total bill at my mechanics to £596.20. Quite a big bill, really. In addition to that, I've spent £50 on a valet, and the valeters have really worked their socks off. Imagine cleaning cars in this weather. It's minus 6 degrees. But it looks really good. The driver's seat is still quite bobbly, but it's a 12-year-old car. It's as good as I can get it. Then I got the dent lads round who use these rods and go down all through the panels and stuff and pop the little dents out. That was £60, but there were a couple that they couldn't get to which still remain, but they've got most of them out. There was a nasty one on the front wing which they managed to pop out, and you'd never know it was there. It's done a really good job. If I add all that up, that takes my total to £1,706.20. It's a lot of car for that sort of money, isn't it? I think this would sell immediately at £2,995, but I think it's worth more than that. This could be worth, like I said, between 3 and 4. I could maybe get 3.5 for it, or 3,995 possibly. And if I do choose to retail it, you've got to maximise, because if something breaks, like the gearbox, I need to be prepared to give that money back. I still don't know what to do with it. Let me know what you do in the comments below. Trade it or retail it. I haven't decided yet. Well, I think that's about it. So thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'll leave the link below. If you've got any comments or questions, let me know below and I'll do my best to get back to you. So yeah, cheers guys. See you next time.